Greetings and welcome to another video. Today I've finished reading a fantastic book about Leonard Nimoy, who played Mr. Spock in the original TV series of Star Trek. And this biography was written by William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk in that same TV series. Now, unfortunately, as we all know by now, a few years ago, Leonard Nimoy passed away. He died because of a disease brought on by smoking. He was a heavy smoker when he was younger. So, in honour of Leonard Nimoy and Mr. Spock, I raise a beer, a Star Trek beer, in honour of Leonard Nimoy and Mr. Spock. Cheers. And this is the 10 Forward Session IPA beer, which I made a previous video talking about. This particular can I'm holding in my hands right now, and my best friend gave this to me as a present a few days ago. And it's a nice beer, very nice beer. So yeah, to Leonard Nimoy and Mr. Spock. Now the book in question is this one here, titled Leonard, and as you can see here it says My 50-Year Friendship with a Remarkable Man by William Shatner with David Fisher. And I'll just say what it says on the back of the book. Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner first crossed paths as actors on the set of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Little did they know that their next roles in a new science fiction television series called Star Trek would shape their lives in ways no one could have anticipated. Through 79 television episodes, 6 feature films, and countless adventures, they formed a remarkable friendship. In this powerfully emotional book, Shatner tells the story of a man who was his friend for 5 decades, recounting anecdotes and untold stories of their lives on and off set, as well as gathering stories from others who knew Nimoy well to present a full picture of a rich life. As much a biography of Nimoy as a story of their friendship, Leonard is a uniquely heartfelt book written by one legendary actor in celebration of another. Now, this book is 14 chapters long, and as you can tell, it's your average size book. But despite that, it covers a lot of information about the life of Leonard Nimoy. From when he was growing up in Boston to when he moved to Hollywood to pursue his acting career. And you can tell from an early age, Leonard Nimoy was a dedicated hard worker. He valued learning, he valued knowledge a great deal. And he often did his best to use everything he learned to help others and teach them to become better actors themselves. One thing I found interesting about this book is that how much in common both William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy had in common with each other, basically. Yes, both men had a great deal of differences, and both men had very different ideas on how to be an actor and how to approach acting whatever character in whatever TV show or theatre performance they were doing at the time. And both men had very different ideas of motivation, the physical movements of each actor. Both men had different ideas of the motivations and actions of each character they played. But despite these differences in their careers and in how they approached the different jobs they took on over the years. A lot of men, a lot of the time, you can tell they had a lot in common, especially when they came together working in Star Trek and all the things they went through in the years after Star Trek, especially as both men shared a lot of heartache and pain and suffering in their personal lives. And at least sometimes, at this point, their friendship was starting to really develop and become stronger. So both men were able to support each other and be there for each other through the difficult times that they both went through, basically. And so, with various examples of all this and more mentioned in this book, as I say, you could tell that both men had a lot in common with each other, just as much as they had vast differences. And toward the end of the book, you could tell that Leonard Nimoy had earned a considerable amount of respect and appreciation from the people he worked with. Fellow actors, producers, actors, directors, I should say. And even when Leonard Nimoy went on to publish several books of poetry and several books of his photography, using photography as an art more so than anything else, and in their interactions with the actors of Star Trek The Next Generation, and Leonard Nimoy's interactions with the actors of the new Star Trek films of 2009 and Into Darkness. Through all of this and more, we see in this book about Leonard Nimoy of how, both as an actor and all the hard work he put into developing the character of Spock, Leonard Nimoy had all kinds of respect he'd earned over the years. And he was loved by not just his family, even after... You see, how do I say this? Over the years, because of various difficulties he went through, Leonard Nimoy had at one point a very troubled relationship with his family and his kids. And his kids, for their own reasons, had a troubled relationship with their father, Leonard Nimoy. But over the years, this book explains it wasn't easy. But over the years, they all overcame their respective difficulties and came back together. And in Leonard Nimoy's twilight years, spent some valuable and amazing, positive years together as a family once again. And so not only was Leonard Nimoy loved and respected by his family, but also his co-workers. As seen in this book, William Shatner had a lot of respect and love for Leonard Nimoy. But also other actors, including the people that Leonard Nimoy worked with from the actors of Star Trek The Next Generation, and then later the Star Trek films made by J.J. Abrams. Zachary Quinto, who played a younger Spock, developed a great deal of respect and appreciation for Leonard Nimoy. And there's other examples I could go into, detailing that even more, but I can't in this video. Otherwise, this video will just last forever. But for anyone who's a Star Trek fan, this is a fantastic book worth getting. On top of that, anyone who's interested in American theatre or American television from the 1950s onwards, or even earlier than that, 1940s perhaps. This book has some fantastic information about how difficult life as an actor was for any actor in America, uh, both on television and in theatre. So that in itself is going to be an interesting point of view. But yeah, um, because of everything I've just said so far, and maybe for a couple of reasons that I haven't quite thought of yet, this is definitely a worthwhile book to get. And when I learned about when Leonard Nimoy died, I was actually properly sad about it. It was the only time, at least up to that point, that a celebrity death had an impact on me, because being a Star Trek fan, giant characters like Spock and Captain Kirk were my heroes as a kid. And I absolutely adored watching Star Trek. It's even today, I love watching the original series especially, and seeing Spock and Captain Kirk and everything coming from that. Absolutely brilliant show. Heroes of mine, to be honest with you. Absolute classic. So with that in mind, as I said, a beer in honour of Leonard Nimoy and Mr. Spock. Both of you are sorely missed, greatly loved, and as both Leonard Nimoy and Mr. Spock said on many occasions, live long and prosper. On that note, I'm going to finish this video here. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Either later today or sometime tomorrow, I'm going to start reading another book I've got lined up to read, which is going to be pretty interesting by the looks of it, but I'll talk about that in due time in another video. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you all next time in the next video. Take care and goodbye.